what is worship centrally. Years ago, the Lord told me that worship was surrender. I believe that's valuably important. But you got to understand that everything that we do unto God is an act of worship when we're doing it unto Him. And so your entire life has to be centered in worship. And so, right, well, what's the reason for that? What is the purpose of that? Well, God is deserving of worship. Yes, He is. But what it does for you is it recenters your focus. And that's valuably important, because one thing that you know that depression and stress and anxiety does is it makes you very self-centered and it makes you very self-focused. It gets you in this position of worrying all about your problems and your things. You could spend hours, it all starts with the seed of a thought. And we'll probably talk about this more next week. But it all starts with the seed of a thought that comes into your mind that the devil presents to you. And you take that thought, and instead of taking it captive, as the word says, instead of casting that thought down, what you end up doing is you meditate that, and then that seed grows into a whole garden of weeds, of deadly destruction in your soul. And you're meditating this thing, and you sink into depression. And you've created a story about something that's going to happen or is happening, about other people's perceptions or about the direction of your life that aren't necessarily true, but was built based on the perspective of that first central depressive thought. Okay, what worship does is it stops that process. It short circuits that process immediately, because worship inherently in and of itself shifts your focus to God. Okay, so a heart of worship, a soul of worship, is one that centers itself on God instead of on yourself. When you worship God, when you make Him the center of your life, He becomes the center of your life. What I mean is He is involved in your affairs. He is there in everything. So whatever you're struggling with, finances, family, marriage, sins, and addictions, when you shift your focus from the problem and shift your focus to the solution, who is God, who is His word, suddenly He's involved because He is the center of your life now. You've surrounded yourself around Him instead of being consumed with your problems like Job was here in the beginning. And when you do that, I want you to imagine how your life would change if God was in the center of your home, like physically there. Whatever's going on in your home, whatever's going on in your life, if God physically just appeared in the center of your home, how long do you think things will remain busted up and destroyed? Just His very presence, you would just imagine, would change everything. Any demon involved, any brokenness involved, any sickness involved, just by His sheer presence, the power of His presence, you would just imagine it would all get wiped out, right? I mean, you would just have to think like, if God's here, and that's what worship's going to do. It's an incorrect way to say it, but it's just the best way to say it. It's going to bring Him into the center of your house, the center of your home, the center of your life, the center of your mind, your will, and your emotions. Because that's what you're centering. You're shifting yourself and you're centering on Him instead of yourself. It's going to feel irresponsible because you're thinking, I need to think about these bills. I need to think about this problem. I need to feel bad for this sin of this addiction that I'm committing and how it's affecting people. And I need to feel bad because my children are wayward and they're going through a problem and they might go to jail or they might they may die out there. They could get pregnant early, all these things. I need to think about this because I'm irresponsible if I don't think about this. If I don't take this weight and I don't take this care, it will be irresponsible of me. What you understand is that it's disrespectful of God. You're just honoring God because He said to cast all your cares upon Him. And so worship is the best, fastest, easiest way to do it without even having to think about it that hard. Because you just stop thinking, you choose by choice to stop thinking about what's going on, and you just start worshiping God. Because if you worship God, you're saying that not only is He greater than the situation, but the situation doesn't matter when compared to Him, and that you love Him more than yourself. Because if you love yourself, you're going to focus on the situation. But if you love God, you're going to focus on Him. Hey there, what you just watched was a clip from our course, Overcome the Spirit of Depression, a 6-week course exclusive to our YouTube channel members. If you want to see the rest of this course, then you got to click that join button below. Click from any of the available tiers and you'll gain unlimited access to the course in this playlist right here. Click now to watch and click the join button to get access. Thank you.